Michael Hicks is holding the top spot on the Arena Cross Outlaw Series point standings. Will Carter Gordon, Mike Alessi, or Carter Bees be able to stop him in Kansas City? Find out next. Welcome, race fans. We're in Hale Arena, Kansas City, Missouri, for the General Tire Arena Cross Outlaw Series presented by Geico Motorcycle. It's round 11 of 15. I'm Daniel Blair. Justin Brayton joins me upstairs. Kristen Beat will be trackside in just a moment. And if you're Mike Alessi and Carter Gordon, you got to feel really good about the way you've been riding, Justin. But if they're going to win, they got to be better than just okay.
They've got to be better than just okay, that's for sure, because guess who they're racing? They're racing the three-time and defending champion, Michael Hicks. He's got over a 100-point lead right now, so he's got nothing to lose. The only thing he's doing is focusing on his starts, focusing on whoops, focusing on turns, rhythms, everything that's gotten him this point lead.
Mike Alessi, Carter Gordon still decently tight in the point standings. Alessi was able to open it up at the last round of the championship, but it's far from over. Arena Cross is wild. Anything can happen in these heat races, in these main events, in the two classes, 250 Pro, Open Pro. It's wild out there, so if you're Carter Gordon, it's not over. You can get to Mike Alessi in second. Before we drop the gate here in Kansas City, we're going to go to Kristen Beat for our Geico Motorcycle pre-race report as she focuses on Michael Hicks, that three-time champ, who will be moving to the Supercross Series not that long from now. So the final prep for his Supercross season in 2023, that's kicking off soon. And here is Kristen.
Guys, we are using the word dominant an awful lot when describing Michael Hicks' 2023 season. He has a 101-point lead in the championship standings at this point. He's playing with house money now, and what I really enjoy about watching him race at this point in the season, he knows he can try things. He has that padded points lead, so watching him make pass attempts and try different bikes and riding techniques, it's interesting to follow how he is managing this points lead while making himself a better racer and using this seat time to self-train for his transition to Supercross.
Yeah, I love everything that Kristen said, and with Michael transitioning to Supercross, it's time, right? He's done so well here in Arena Cross. He's been really dominant this year, big points lead, and he's doing everything right. He's getting good starts, he's got incredible loop speed, and yeah, he's dominating at the moment.
Geico Motorcycle 30-second board goes sideways, so the gate goes down. Talk about doing everything perfect at the moment. It always starts with the start, and here he is out front, Justin.
Yeah, familiar sight, isn't it, Daniel? He's gotten great starts all year long, and look at these whoops here tonight in Kansas City. I really like the track build, what the track builder's done. Nice big set of whoops right out of that left-hand turn. If you look, the track crew's done a great job of prepping this track from qualifying practice to this first heat race. Might be a little bit slick. Typically it can be slick going into the first heat race, but yeah, the track's looking good here. Down to Kristen.
Henry Miller said he's still getting used to this tight racing, but tonight he has a better feel for it. However, the 3-minute motos, he's still figuring these out and figuring out his pacing.
Justin, you talked about how the initial part of the race, those opening laps, yes, Arena Cross and Supercross are different, but it's got a familiar feel.
It does have a familiar feel. Look, no matter what race you're doing, whether it's Arena Cross or Supercross or outdoor motocross, these first 3 or 4 laps are so crucial to set the tone for the entire race. And although these races are a little bit shorter, 3 to 4 minutes long, Supercross is 15 to 20 minutes long, Motocross is 30 plus minutes long, they all start with the intensity of these opening laps. And here in Arena Cross, these guys do it best. These races are short, so they have to bring intensity to each and every one of these laps.
Brett Greenlee running third right now in this 9-lap heat race, and was really fast early in the year at DuQuoin, Illinois. Kind of had a breakthrough ride there, got some podiums, and then he's had a couple rough ones. And when I say rough, not rough as being on the ground, but more rough as far as not showing his full speed. I think there's more there. But this has got to be a great feeling for him. He's got Carter Gordon behind him, who has been on fire lately. Carter has been on fire, and I love Carter's attitude. He's doing everything right. He's really gotten to another level this season from everything. From his starts, his whoop speed is good. He's starting to believe again. And going back to Greenlee, you can get these good results, and then you start to expect that. And sometimes it can be a great thing, and sometimes it can be bad because you start to put all that pressure on. You start to expect these things, and if it doesn't come, you start to get frustrated. Well, frustration leads to some frustration on the track, whether it's bad starts or not riding the best. So sometimes it can go both ways, and it looks like it's going the opposite way of what Greenlee would like it to go, which is start to compound on top of each other, which is podium after podium. But
all in all, he's still riding really good. I think he's gotten to a whole new level this season.
Michael Hicks continues to lead, scoring up the corner, inside the whoops. Typically, you'd rail the outside berm and open it up, but maybe he found something, likes the line, or as Kristen said, he's just exploring. He's challenging himself in different ways. He goes up the left-hand side of the whoops. Henry Miller, I think Henry looks better than he did the last round. That was his Arena Cross debut. Yes, Michael Hicks has gotten away, but do you see the comfort kicking in? Because to me, he looks just a little bit more aggressive on the bike.
Yeah, I think he just knows what to expect now, especially, we talked about that intensity right when the gate drops. Michael is so good at that. He's incredible. There's a reason why he's won 3 championships. Henry's got to learn that, and I think he learned that last night in Kansas City and is going to apply that tonight.
Cuts up the inside, rolls on in. See the lapper right there in his way. Obviously has the vision to look forward and make his way to the right. And he grabs a Sunoco checkered flag and grabs another victory to go along with the so many that he's had here in 2022, 2023. He gets the win. We look at the Geico Motorcycle Heat 1 results. It's Hicks, Miller, and Greenlee 1, 2, 3. Gordon in 4th, but Hicks is with Kristen.
Michael, I saw the rear wheel kick out a few times. How are you having to adapt your riding style with a slick track?
I'm trying to ride conservative, not so go so hard because, the back tire will kick out. But Hoosier tires are hooking up great on this slick dirt, and hopefully come out in the next couple heat races and get some more wins.
250 Pro Heat Race number 2 is on the gate. All these riders chasing that General Tire first turn. You got to be there first. Michael Lessie in the very inside has the best shot at it. He was good at the last round. We saw a lot of speed, a lot of aggression, but his starts were off, Justin. He's got to get that figured out right now if he wants to battle with Michael Hicks. He's on the inside. Good jump, good protection. That looks more like the Michael Lessie I know.
That is the Michael Lessie I know too, and trust me, I've raced him enough to where I know typically you see the back of his jersey anytime off the start. So great start for Mike here, down to Kristen.
Michael Lessie, Gordon Miller, and Michael Hicks are all running a Hoosier spec tire tonight, and so far they seem to really like the intermediate compound, but the biggest difference is the construction of the tire. Now, I spoke with Irish at Hoosier. He said, I can't give you all the details, but this tire is really hooking up for the Arena Cross guys. We are incredibly happy with its construction.
Yeah, there's nothing like some spec tires. Daniel had a lot of spec tires in my day, and what they mean by that is just a development tire that someday they'll put into production. But that's what these guys are, these racers are for, really. Is if you're sponsored by a company like Hoosier, you're developing their tire for the future. And what they mean by spec is it's something new. It's something that they're trying, whether is it a stiffer sidewall, a softer sidewall, the knobbies, or are they softer, are they stiffer? And you get so much testing throughout the week, or throughout the years of development, and then they'll come out to the public. So spec tires for these pros, they're just one-off tires, which a lot of times they're just amazing to ride on, a lot more traction. So pretty cool that Hoosier's doing that here in Arena Cross.
Crutcher runs 3rd. His teammate, is that what we call Carter Bees? Is it his teammate, his rider? And let's tie this all in. Crutcher, of course, the team principal for the CycleZone KTM team. He was really good at the last round. Sitting 3rd in this heat race, he even looks a little bit more comfortable tonight.
Yeah, this is an incredible story. Obviously, the team principal, he comes out and says, you know what, we got Cheyenne Harmon who got hurt, with best wishes to him. He was having a great season. But Jeff said, you know what, give me Cheyenne's bike. I'll take that thing and ride it. I'll see if I remember how to do this. And look at that, Daniel. He's going good in the whoops. He's having a great ride so far. Had a great night last night. And what was he in qualifying practice today? He was 4th overall in qualifying practice in the 250 Pro class, ahead of his rider who was 6th, Carter Bees, ahead of Carter Gordon. So that just shows you how talented Jeff Crutcher is on the bike.
Yeah, it took him one night to figure things out, get, the cobwebs, all that, and now here he is, aggressive, hammering the Race Tech rockers, getting good starts, sitting top 3. I mean, that's impressive. For a team principal who has so many responsibilities on the night, how about go out there and get it done on the track? Now we got the battle between Leaf and Smith for 4th. And on this track, with this quick start to the right, every pass matters for gate pick. Last thing you want to be on is on the very outside, but hey, try to make the move right here, get one better gate pick. That's probably a better start, maybe 1 or 2 positions when you come around the first corner, but in a race like this where the time is short, that's important.
Yeah, the start's so important. It starts with your gate pick, right, and the position. And a lot of people, there's always this debate on your gate selection. Do you do position or condition, which means Is there a hole out in front of the gate? What's the dirt like? Is there traction? Well, this one looks like it's going to be a pure position gate from the inside out. That inside gate's been so crucial. It's where Michael Lessie lined up to pull that nice hole shot, where Michael Hicks lined up in the first heat. So I think gate selection is going to be optimal.
So Michael Hicks handles his business. Now Michael Lessie handles his business. I want to see these two square up, and if Michael Lessie can get a start like that one with Michael Hicks, maybe we'll get that battle we've been chasing here for the last couple rounds. Michael Lessie will get the win in heat race number 2. A little celebration right there. Looks like Crutcher was passed late in that race. He is. Grayson Smith made the move. So Alessi, B, Smith, Crutcher, 1, 2, 3, 4 in 250 Pro heat race number 2. Here's Mike Alessi with our Kristen B.
Mike, during that heat, Carter Bees was starting to pressure you late in the race. Did you feel that at all?
A little bit. He's riding good. I think that was his best ride that he's had this whole season, so it's cool to see the young kid going fast.
The young kid, you say that as if you were expired.
I'm 35 years old, so I got 2 wives, 2 kids, 1 wife, 2 kids, and just loving racing and being part of it. So thanks to Jay and the GT Series for having me out. Hoosier Tires are hooking up great. I just having a great time. Redline Oil, my mechanic Chuck doing such a great job. Ready for that main event.
All these kids keeping Michael Alessi sharp out there.
He is chasing 2 main event victories, and hopefully for his sake, he does not have 2 wives. The Arena Cross Outlaw Series is brought to you by General Tire and by Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you up to 15% on your motorcycle insurance. The 250 Pro heats in Kansas City are complete. We move on to the Open Pro heats, but before we drop the gate in Kansas City, let's go down to Kristen Beat for a Geico Motorcycle pre-race report.
Carter, in the 250 heat, we saw you starting to apply pressure on Michael Alessi. We're seeing sparks of confidence. How do you keep that confidence moving in the right direction?
Yeah, honestly, just got to keep focusing on myself. I'll be getting better each time I'm on the racetrack, and just got to keep mixing it up with these guys and honestly learning from what they're doing. And just got to keep stringing laps together, stringing main events together.
What did you notice about Michael Alessi's program, being able to battle with him like that?
He's just got some different line choice, and he's able to keep the bike pretty light when it gets slippery, and just the little things you pick up on throughout the race.
Takeaways and taking notes, guys.
Always learning, right, Justin? You're always trying to figure things out and learn along the way, and it's a quick night, though. You're back to the gate just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we're talking about learning, here's a great learning lesson here. Number 1, right to his inside, which is a premium gate for tonight. But if you're Carter, get a good start, get out there. Michael Hicks with a whole shot, but hey, you've got to sit behind him and learn. Oh, he's getting shuffled back.
Yeah,
Which is unfortunate.
missed opportunity. Oh, and then he's down. You know what? And he went a little wide in the second corner. Could have been a second place start, put him back and forth, and you know as well as anybody, the top 3 is the safest part of the start. Once you get back 4 and behind, that's when those types of things happen.
That's exactly right. And it looked to me like he wasn't as aggressive as he should have been. Hindsight's always 20/20, but that first, half a lap, or even just that first straightaway, you got to be really, really aggressive to get yourself that track position, because like you said, if you're 4th and back, things are out of your control. And in a sport like Arena Cross, you want to control everything you can. Well, guess what? There's so many uncontrollables. Well, that's one of them you can control. Get a good start, try and get out front, be aggressive, and try to control the things that you can. Because look, like I said, there's not much you can control out here, but you want to try to control the things you can.
Stay out of the mess. You can do it. There's a mess behind the top 3 in a start in Arena Cross. We just saw that. So Hicks leads, Miller second, Cobb is 3rd. Solid ride for Cobb. Good to see him up there in the top 3. But for Carter Bees, tough start to this heat race. Not the way he wanted to start it out.
Daniel, Carter Beasy came into the hot pit. He told Ben, his mechanic, he hurt his hip. It is stinging. Ben said, listen, if you can finish, do it. It's seat time, but also gate pick.
Yeah, and you just want to keep moving, right? As long as he feels like he's okay. And as a rider, you kind of know. Your adrenaline's going and such. That can mask some pain. But if there's something broke, or if something's hurt really bad. If it's not hurt really bad, that's what we do. Sometimes you got to ride injured. Sometimes you got to gut through the pain a little bit. And honestly, the best thing to do would be to get back out there and ride a little bit, to keep your body warm, keep your blood flowing, keep your hip, which just sounds like that's what he hurt. Keep that loosened up a little bit.
There's a difference between injured and hurt, right? Injured means you're not able to operate. There's something wrong. You can't do what you need to do out there. hurt. These guys ride hurt all the time. Justin, you raced for a long time. How many times did you line up for a Supercross and you were hurt in some way and you still could pull it off because you weren't injured?
Yeah, and sometimes you can have the best races of your career by being a little bit hurt because you're not focused on that end result. You know, sometimes when you focus on the expectation of that end result, it brings anxiety. But when you're just focused on that, you know, your ankle's a little bit hurt or your hip's a little bit hurt, kind of focus on that, and then you can just ride to your optimum performance. And I've had some amazing races with literally broken bones, which sounds crazy, but these athletes are so tough. And look, we're deep into this season now. I guarantee you Michael Hicks has something that's a little bit hurt, whether it's just something minor or something major. But yeah, part of the sport, got to be tough. I'm sure Carter Bees will get back out there.
So Hicks leads. We're on board with Henry Miller. Again, improving. Second night of Arena Cross. And you've got a great situation. You're riding for a team that has a champion on it, a 3-time champ, so you have someone to learn from. And Michael Hicks knows Arena Cross. He's won this thing 3 times in a row. He's on his 4th championship right now, and 100-point lead. Without a big mistake, he's probably going to get it. So for Henry Miller, no better place to be than right here behind the one, who gets it done again, crosses the Sunoco checkered flag with the victory. Henry Miller throws a little whip. You got to imagine he's having a good time right there. And there's Carter Bees right there. So he is back on the bike, proving that he's going to be okay for the night. He might be banked up, but Justin, like you said, that might be okay. He might have a breakout night.
Absolutely, might have a breakout night. But for Michael Hicks, business as usual, top spot once again.
Open Pro Heat Race number 2. We'll see Mike Alessi again. Now here's the thing. Hicks has been on the very inside gate. Alessi's been on the very inside gate. When we go to the main event, only one's going to get it. And that usually goes to the rider with the fastest heat race. So for Mike Alessi, you got to win this race. But more importantly, you got to beat Michael Hicks's time. So don't just get the win. Get a big win and sprint away. And it starts right there with a great jump out of the gate.
His starts are on tonight, which is something that Mike's so accustomed to doing, right, is getting out front, having that clear track, and that's where he races best. Mike's not at his best when he's racing through the pack, which none of us are, right, but a lot of people, it's really hard to race from the front. Well, Mike's done it his whole career, so for him right now, like you said, it's full sprint. He's got to lay down these 9 laps, the best 9 laps he's done in quite some time, to be able to beat Michael Hicks, to get that preferred gate, and that's where things start to snowball. You get that gate selection, then you hole shot. Well, then maybe you run Michael Hicks a little bit wide and kind of interrupt his race a little bit, and then things can start compounding on top of that, which all positives from there.
You see Gordon in 3rd and Greenlee in 4th. They are following Crutcher, who is running 2nd, and he's not looking like a fill-in anymore, filling in on his own team. He's starting to look like a threat. I mean, he's beating guys who have been on the podium this season.
This is so cool. It looks like he's just kind of
play the game.
Little crap. Oh, look at him going back and forth. I don't think
Greenlee.
Greenlee's going to go up the outside, but I was going to say, I don't think Carter Gordon's going to get a ride on this CycleZone KTM team anytime soon after that move.
I don't care how good you do. You don't go stuff the team principal in a heat race. That's not how you get a ride, but it's like Crutcher's settled in maybe too much. Now, now this is what happens in Arena Cross, though. If one gets you, you're vulnerable. The next thing you know, the next guy. So for Crutcher, it looks like the back and forth with Gordon has caused more trouble than just that exchange.
Yeah, you know, we talk about the positives compounding on top of each other with confidence and stuff. It can go the exact opposite direction, which seems like what's happening to Crutcher. And, you know, things on track just happen so fast. But for me, it comes down to this rhythm lane right here where we see Greenlee going triple-double. Crutcher wasn't doing that. He was going double-double single. So you either got to go triple-double or double-triple. If you're not doing either one of those, you're going to get past just like he did.
When I watch Greenlee ride, there's one thing that really stands out to me. The visor. What's going on with the visor there, Justin? That's not the typical look, and I'll be honest, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I don't think he's trying to set a new trend or anything.
I hope not.
I think a visor, looked like a visor screw or something might be out, or maybe he bounced his head off the bars. You just never know, right? But obviously it's not supposed to be like that. But I like his persistence and his perseverance, if you will. He doesn't really care. You know, normally you can see that visor. Well, now it's up. He's saying, well, I got to get into this main event, so I'm just going to do everything I can no matter what I look like.
There are certain trends that you would love to start and be the guy who created it. The hole shot, I mean, Mike Alessi, he's not the first to ever get one, but talk about being a guy who can get hole shots. He was a trendsetter. He got them almost automatically. And he talked at the last round. He was so frustrated in his podium interview about his start because he knows that's what's missing in his attempt to beat Michael Hicks. But They look good. Carter Gordon, he was good at the last round. He seems to be waking up tonight. So for some of the guys who can challenge Hicks, starting to come together in this heat race, maybe they'll get a shot at him in the main.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're getting second and third and fourth so much and you're watching your competitor, which is Michael Hicks, win so much, you can just start to give up a little bit. So you know what? I'm not as good as him. He's better than me. I'm not even going to really try to beat him because I don't have the speed to do it. Well, Michael Lessie last night in his podium interview, he said, no, look, I want to beat him. I race to win. Good start for him here in the Open Pro Heat race.
Nice big old one-legger for the fans. Sure they love that. Michael Lessie, when you see a guy do that off the finish line, you know he's playing around, he's having a good time. That usually comes from comfort and confidence, and Mike has it tonight. So I'm excited for these main events, man. If he could get the start with Hicks, challenge him, maybe he doesn't beat him, but like you said, chip away at him. Just make it hard on him, and then maybe you get him the next week. It's all about that progression. But right now, he looks great. Open Pro Heat Race number 2. It's Alessi, Gordon, Greenlee, and Crutcher holds on for 4th. The kids are having fun. We'll be back with more in Kansas City. 250 heat races are done. Open Pro heat races are done. Before we get to the Cometic Gasket Junior Moto Challenge, let's check in with a two-wheel celebrity who is with Kristen Beat.
Guys, it is so cool to have someone like Ronnie Feist from a different discipline here at the Arena Cross Series race this weekend. I mean, Ronnie, what do you enjoy about coming out to something like this? I know right now you're also doing a lot of coaching with these kind of kids.
I mean, to be honest with you, I just love dirt bikes. You know, I've been in the sport since I was a kid, grew up as a racer, made a living as a freestyle rider. So these type of events, I just want to come out and watch. You know, and it's fun. To be honest with you, it's fun to watch the kids, it's fun to watch the pros, but I even like watching the guys in the 40 plus. That's my class. So I enjoy it. It's competition, moto. At the end of the day, this has been my passion my whole life. So just being here, it's fun.
Does your perspective change at all while watching racing since moving into a coaching role? Do you watch for things now a little differently?
No, I'm always trying to learn. So I watch the top guys, and I'm always trying to watch them, study them, see what they're doing. So that's kind of like, it's funny, as you become a coach, you become like a studier of everyone. You watch them what the top guys are doing, and then you kind of watch, a lot of people are here that I've actually worked with since I moved to the Midwest. So then I'm watching them and kind of seeing what they're doing, how they're learning. A couple more guys won, so I was pumped. I'm like, heck yeah.
Well, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks so much for coming out to the Arena Cross Series and supporting General Tire Arena Cross. We appreciate it.
That's so rad to see Ronnie in attendance. Great attitude. He loves being here. He wants to watch the pro classes and the 50 classes and the schoolboy class, the Cometic Gasket Junior Moto Challenge. This is the schoolboys. You'll see guys on a super mini. You'll see guys on a 250, guys on a 125. It looks like the 125 two-stroke might get the start. Beer bomb. He's got it. Makes a little mistake. He's going to lose it. But he was really good at the last round, too. He was on the podium. Didn't get the win, but he wants it here. That's a good pass, too, because the rider he's going up against makes a mistake, gives him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, he's riding really good here. And what a cool opportunity these kids get. Schoolboy kids get to come out here, ride the same track as the pros, learn from guys like Michael Hicks. Yeah, neat opportunity. Get to stand on the podium that the pros get to stand on. Beer Bomb gets it done.
The top 3 riders get to stand on the podium, but you want to be Beer Bomb. You want to be the guy standing in the dead center with the number 1. You know you got the job done, and he didn't have an easy one, too. He had to battle his way back from a couple mistakes in that one. But when he made his way to the podium, he stood dead center with the number 1 up. Congratulations to Beer Bomb getting the schoolboy victory. Back in Kansas City, Missouri, the Arena Cross Series always brings out the most unique characters. Here's one. Here's another one. That would be Ronald Mack. We'll see him in a moment. And Kristen's with another one.
Jeff, it is rare for a team manager or a team principal in sports to go from that position to being a competitor in a matter of a week. You have done that. You were able to do that at round 10. What benefits, though, did you find in doing that as it relates to coaching Carter Bees?
Well, I mean, the main thing is it gives me a little bit of authority where I can go out on the track and show Carter. I mean, in the 250 class, I qualified better than he did. And then I took the information that I learned while I was out there on the track. I got my tires on the dirt. So then I can tell him, hey, dude, you know, we're setting up like this, or try this line, or, you know, let's go to the left in the whoops. And we work on bike setup also. I mean, it's constant communication, debriefing, conceptualizing. I mean, there's so much that goes into working with him to where he can go out with a strategy and perform. I mean, he's the top guy on the team right now, and we need him to be well prepared. And me going out and riding, it just gives a little bit more for him to absorb and perfect it on the track.
What a cool spot to be in. Just, you're racing, you're coaching, you're managing. Jay Crutcher, everybody, that's awesome. This is the head-to-head challenge, Hicks versus Leaf, Gordon versus Greeley. We're gonna start with Hicks and Leaf, and if you're Skylar Leaf right now, you're in a tough spot. Number one, you have the champ to your right, and then look at this guy showing up on your left. Who is this guy? How did he get out there? Is this even allowed? And if you're Leaf, who are you more concerned with at this moment?
Well, I think I would be more concerned with the 69 of Ronnie Mack. Look at him, he's tripling into the turn. Oh, he's gonna square him up right here. And honestly, if you're Hicks, you're thinking, look, I don't really want this guy messing with me, but go ahead and mess with him.
Look at the crowd cheering. They're cheering about some. Oh, you like that?
I like that little Ronnie Mack style off the finish line.
Okay, there's Hicks, and there's Mack. I didn't see Leaf come around there. I think he may have ended up on the ground, courtesy of a Mr. Ronald Mack. Gordon, Greenlee. Gordon had the inside. I like Greenlee cutting up right there. If he was a little closer, he could have got physical, but Gordon's been good in that second corner. He knows how to play that defense.
Yeah, he's gotten quite a few hole shots lately, so he knows how to do it from the front, which is protect a little bit, but don't protect that much to where you hinder your speed and get past.
Quick race, quick victory. Gordon's going to the final. The problem is he's going up against Michael Hicks in a very unique way, too. So you got Hicks in the final, Gordon in the final. They were able to earn their way to this spot. But we're going to do something a little bit different for you. These guys are going to start in reverse. So you want to be fast on the track. These guys practice that. But Justin, do they practice this?
I don't think so. I've never practiced this in my 20-year career. I don't think Michael Hicks or Carter Gordon have practiced this. But here we go anyways. Quite a unique situation.
Oh, Gordon. But, I mean, typically you want the inside, right? But outside gives you the chance to just sweep it around.
What a pass.
Out to in.
Nice
I like
pass.
it.
Squared him up. Michael Hicks down. Oh, look at that whoop speed, though.
Whoa.
Unbelievable.
That may have been his best pass through. Gordon up the inside.
Oh, what a race.
Hey, without that little slide, he may have just had the wheel on him, but he doesn't. Michael Hicks gets it done. That was fun. We got Michael Lessie smiling. For now, 250 Pro Main is next. It's been a fun night in Kansas City with all the unique characters showing up. Brian Jackson, the Wheelie King. Before we drop the gate, let's go to Kristen B with a General Tire pre-race report.
After going off track in his Open Pro heat, I checked in with Carter Bees, and he said despite his hips stinging, he's ready to get back out here. They did have to fix the handlebars. They were bent. They bent them back. He's feeling really good moving into this main event, and he told me, I just want to get back out there and see what I can do. Guys?
That is great to hear if you're Carter Bees. The problem is if you're Henry Miller, you're pulling out of the gate. You see him right there. They're backing him out. Justin, this is huge. Look at the open gate in gate 3. Henry Miller, a guy who could have been on the podium tonight.
Yeah, that's no good. Looks like maybe mechanical or something has happened on the line. Maybe the bike didn't start. But if you think about it, Michael Lessie's got a little more room to his left now, so a little more room to move around. And that preferred gate, which Michael Hicks is in, we've seen a lot of hole shots come from there. But it's Michael Lessie.
Good jump by Alessi. Wow, you know what? That inside gate has been almost automatic, but Alessi gets his starts figured out, moves on over, like you said, takes the lead, and this is what we have been asking for. The Fly Racing hole shot goes to Alessi. It's Hicks Alessi battling to the lead.
Yes, I love this. Mike finally got out of the gate like himself. Hicks up the inside, but Mike's got to get aggressive and get this lead back. Michael kind of slid out in that turn. Looked like he had the pass made, but Michael Alessi back to the lead. So, well, this is a good race. Look, we've been asking for this. Michael Alessi typically gets out of the gate just like that with the hole shot, so he's familiar with it. He knows what to do racing from the front. Michael Hicks, no one's led him around in a long time, Daniel, so this is going to get interesting.
Alessi leads, Hicks is second. Let's go down to Kristen with more.
Jumping to a two-stroke in the Arena Cross Series was a bold move. Now, 10 races in, Michael Alessi has learned how to work with this bike, but he said on a four-stroke, you have that engine braking. On his two-stroke, you don't. So he's teaching himself to maintain his momentum around the entire track, guys.
Yeah, and you just get used to this muscle memory that Michael Alessi's raced four-strokes his entire pro career. He hasn't really ridden a two-stroke since his 80 days, so long time ago. I mean, we're talking 20 years ago, so now he's back on a two-stroke. He's got to learn how to ride it again. Four-stroke has a lot more engine braking, which is when you let off the gas, the bike will slow you down a little bit more. The two-stroke doesn't have that, so it three-wheels a little bit more. It goes through the whoops. Different, you got to be in different gear. So he's constantly learning this bike, and it's taken a while. But look, he's riding good here. Hicks is pressuring him. look, I think Michael Hicks is being a little bit nice, but you don't want to let Michael Lessie get comfortable up front. He's done this a time or two. He's won some races in his day. So lap 5 of 14, a long ways to go, but he's doing everything right so far.
So Hicks has not led every single lap of the series. He's had to make some passes, but this is deep in the main event. And now Alessi out to in. Does he get him back? I mean, this is not normal for Michael Hicks to be in the middle of a main event, still battling for the lead. Looks like he's got it now, but you think maybe he was a little too nice there? Because I think he could have been more aggressive lap 2, and we could have already been past all this.
He could have, but I also think he believes in his skills. You know, history seems to repeat itself a little bit with him winning so much. So he's thinking, look, I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to be patient. I've beaten Mike, you know, almost every race this season. So why would this race be any different? But then again, you don't want to give Michael Lessie much confidence because the guy knows what he's doing. And if he gets his starts back, the rest of the series, Michael Hicks could be in trouble. But Hicks has got the speed on him right now. And look, there's not he's made a big mistake there, coming up way short. And that's what can happen, Daniel, is he's getting thrown off his rhythm a little bit. He didn't get to race from the front. Michael Lessie, you know, was kind of not holding him up, but racing him hard.
Enough to throw him off.
Enough to throw him off, and that's exactly what you want, especially even if you're Carter Gordon or Carter Bees. You want to throw Michael Hicks off his game because you've been getting beat by him all year.
You talked about Carter Bees and how he maybe needs to step it up just a little bit, be a podium guy, and he has the big crash early in the night, wondering if he's even going to be able to race. Well, it's woken him up, and you talked about that. Sometimes when you're a little banged up, things go better. It makes no sense, but it ends up being the case a lot of the time.
Well, you just don't overthink it. You're thinking about this injury, and I'm a little bit banged up. So you're thinking, well, I may not even race. So it takes the pressure off. It sheds that anxiety of some sort of expectation that you're thinking, oh, I need to be a podium guy, or Jeff Crutcher, my team principal, was faster than me in qualifying practice. I've got to step it up. And you start the anxiety creeps in, right? Well, then you start to hold on tighter. You start to try to ride out of your comfort zone, which creates arm pump and creates mistakes. And he's making a few mistakes here, but with him being a little bit injured, he's thinking, well, any result tonight, I'm just happy to be out here. He rides like himself. He's now pressuring for a podium position, which is, we hadn't seen that out of him in a while, so it could be one of his best nights.
Yeah, it's crazy. That perception, it is there. As soon as you get banged up a little bit, you throw away all that anxiety you talked about, and sometimes you just ride better. It makes no sense, but it seems to be the case for a lot of these guys. Now, for Michael Hicks, yeah, we've seen so much perfection out of him this season. He's been a little off in this moto. You see little mistakes, little bobbles. I mean, Case in the finish line jump. If only these guys could have gotten his head maybe a little sooner in the championship. Maybe if this had come at round 3, round 4, round 5, we wouldn't see a 100-point lead, but it's a little too late.
Well, it's funny, Daniel, we talk about expectation. We're expecting him to be perfect.
Every time.
He's basically been. So he comes up a little bit short, and we're like, whoa, or he doesn't lead every lap. We're like, Michael, what's wrong?
He cased the jump. There must be a problem.
Exactly.
As he's winning.
As he's winning. So, look, the guy's so good right now. Michael Hicks is just on a totally different level. And we expect perfection out of him because that's what we've gotten for the longest time. So maybe we're asking a little bit too much out of him, but Michael Leslie's had a great night as well. He's getting his starts back. He's got to chip away at maybe a little more speed here and there, but I think he's learning, and it's funny, you know, he mentioned being 35 years old. You're constantly learning, and now he's learning from a 22-year-old in Michael Hicks.
That's the sport. You can learn from anybody. Hicks is on his game. Thrown off a little bit in the beginning of this main event, but when it mattered, he was clutch. And he grabs the victory. Michael Hicks wins again, and Michael Lessie was a lot closer. Gordon not that far behind. Bees, for the top 4 guys, they all have a reason to be very happy right now with that performance. And Michael Lessie's got one more main event to go in that Open Pro main, so he does have another shot at it. But in this one, it was Michael Hicks, Michael Lessie, Carter Gordon, 1, 2, 3 in the main event. Great ride by all those guys. We'll go down now to Kristen B, who is with Michael Hicks, who had his biggest challenge in probably the last 3 or 4 rounds.
7 main event wins in this class for Michael Hicks this season. Michael, I mean, a good battle between you and Michael Lessie.
Yeah, we're duking it out there. I ended up getting by him for the win, but couldn't have done that without my whole team: Ty Loop Honda, Soulmate Honda, Hoosier Tire, FXR 60, X-Brand Goggles, Motool, Factor Connection, X-Trig, Pro Taper. Just everybody helped me out. Thank you so much.
Well, we lost Henry Miller in the 250 Pro main, but it looks like he is back for the Open Pro main coming up next. The Arena Cross Outlaw Series is brought to you by General Tire, ODI, Cometic Gasket, Hoosier Tire, and by Andretti's Karting and Games. Well, if you think that 250 Pro main event was fun, we got the Open Pro main event coming up next here in Kansas City. Before we drop that gate, we're going to go down to Kristen Beat for a General Tire pre-race report.
So guys, tonight traction is the name of the game. Riders are looking for every way they can to gain a competitive edge over the competition. And some of the riders, like Michael Hicks, who by the way is on a 450 in this Open Pro class, has opted to start grooving his tires to get a little more bite from the rear wheel, guys.
Yeah, here's the great thing about this Open Pro main is you can ride any bike you want. You can ride a 250, which Michael Hicks has ridden pretty much the whole season. Now he's opted for the 450. You look at the 800 of Michael Lessie, he's on a 252 stroke. You look at the 66 of Henry Miller, he's on a 254 stroke. So that's why they call it the Open Pro main, in a quite unique situation from the one here, Michael Hicks. He's riding the 450. That's his bike of choice.
Does he grab the Viral brand goggles hole shot? Yeah, that was a big one. Drifts wide. Great race IQ, moves back over, gets the triple, and now he doesn't have to deal with Michael Lessie for the first 5 laps like he did last time, unless Alessi can pull something here early in the main event.
Yeah, and you wonder if that 450 is a big advantage. You could tell he got to the first turn quite far ahead of everyone, to be honest, even in that short of a start. And then you think about the tight turn before the loop section. The 450 just has more power just to get you on top of those loops. So I like this decision, and we're hearing that Michael Hicks is undecided of what bike he's going to race in Supercross, whether it's the 250 or 450, and this is going to help his decision.
Yeah, get a little bit of a feel for both and see which one he likes. Some riders do better on one bike than the other, and what better place to test it than in a race condition? And hey, he's out front, so how do you make the decision when you ride both of them so well?
That's the hardest part, right, is which one suits your style a little better. Well, I went on both of them, so they both suit my style. Okay, well, what coast in Supercross are you going to ride? Are you going to ride east or west? He's most likely going to ride east. It's coming up here soon. What's the competition like? Can he get on the podium, or what's his goals? I think the biggest thing is, what are your expectations? What are you looking forward to? What are your goals? And that's going to help you make that decision.
Henry Miller running third right now. Good to see him back in action in this Open Pro main event. Kristen.
Guys, Henry Miller has had bike issues on not one but 2 bikes tonight. He actually had a starter issue in the 250 main on the bike he was borrowing from Michael Hicks. So he's actually on Michael Hicks' backup bike here in this Open Pro main because their friends, Michael Hicks, offered it, and here we are watching Henry in podium position.
Justin, we know how mental this game is. It's a big part of racing. How's it mentally for a rider when he's going through something like this, where you have a bike issue, you have to borrow a bike? We saw Michael Lessie do that at one point in the series. Take me through just the mental side of having to go through that much adjustment on race day.
Well, it's really difficult, and that's why they say racers need to have very, very short-term memory, because you need to forget things. Look, Carter B's going inside, and
that was aggressive.
That was really aggressive, and these two have been going at it all night, and Carter keeps gaining more and more confidence. He's setting himself up here to rail this turn and get a good entry into the loop. But for Henry, it's really, really tough. You don't know if you're going to have another bike malfunction, and look, it's all of our worst nightmare as a racer for your bike to have a malfunction off one of these jumps. And that's just the reality of it. It could potentially happen. And so, yeah, you go out there, but look, he needs to forget about it. When the gate drops, you need to focus forward, and that stuff's out of your control.
Carter Bees has been riding great, and this section's been tough. We've seen him kick around the whoops, but what I like, he doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. He just keeps coming back for more, but this might be the most aggressive we've seen him do 11 rounds, and Justin, it's happening on a night where he's had issues.
Yeah, it's so interesting to think. He got hurt earlier, kind of bruised his hip a little bit, and now he's coming out. Looks maybe the best he has all season, running nice in a 4th place position, getting around one of his rivals throughout this whole season, Carter Gordon. And Carter's kind of had his number up until this point. I'm really, really impressed with Carter right here, especially coming off that injury.
And Carter Gordon's had a good run over the last few rounds. He's been challenging, led some laps, won some heat races. So if you're Carter Bees, you're trying to get those little victories we talk about all the time, this is a little one for him that could go a long way. He makes his way around Gordon, sits in 4th right now, not too off the pace of Henry Miller. Here's Greenlee trying to make his way around Pickens. Saw the inside line right there. If you want to be aggressive, probably got to be a little closer than that, right? Because where he was, that would have been violent.
Yeah, and Daniel, if you want to think about your style update, Greenlee's visor is fixed.
Okay.
It's not all the way up. So he was not trying to set a trend. Awesome. What he is trying to do is set a trend of making a pass on Pickens here.
Maybe the visor goes back up and he makes a move. He looked great in that heat race, and he looks good in this one too. Oh, didn't set again. Okay, so that's 2 laps in a row now. He's obviously got something sized up. How close does he have to be before you can go in and make that move and know that it's not going to be just pure contact?
Yeah, he's just going in a little premature right now. He's got to be just literally a bike length closer, and he makes that move and makes it fairly cleanly. If he's going to make a move like that, it's going to get dirty and it's going to get ugly.
Couple laps left. Michael Hicks leads the way. I said that before. We'll probably say it again. He's on that 450. It's a big challenge, too, going back and forth between the 250 and 450. But on a track like this that he seems to have mastered, where the flow really does come into play, and he's got it. It's pretty good on both bikes. Again, if I'm him, I'm having a hard time making this decision.
Well, honestly, Daniel, if I'm having anything to do with it, I might be sending in my my sign-up sheet for the 450 class. He looks amazing on this bike from start to finish. Executed his start perfectly. His boot speed is unbelievable. And we talked about Henry Miller earlier. This is a great bounce back. I mean, it's mentally tough to come out here and know you've had 2 bike malfunctions. Great boot speed right there. And remember, this is on Michael Hicks' bike.
His spare. I mean, it's not even his, it's his spare bike. It's unbelievable that he's been able to bounce back like that. And shout out to the team for making this happen, too. That's why you have a team, to be able to pull off these emergencies and get your guy up there. Now look at the result. You're going to have a guy win right here with 1 corner to go and a guy on the podium. So for Ty Lube, they get the win. Again, Michael Hicks is stoked. I mean, he's stoked every time, but seemed a little extra on that one. Alessi in second, and Henry Miller bounces back, like you said, to put that bike on the podium. And a shout out to Carter Bees. I love the way he bounced back today. He had a great night of racing.
He did, yeah. Carter Bees bouncing back after the injury, but results sheet, we've seen that a lot this year, Daniel. Michael Hicks in the lead and taking that checkered flag. But Michael Alessi, you know, nothing to get down on him for that. That was a great night.
Henry Miller bounces back. He's on the podium, and he's with Kristen Beat.
On a borrowed bike. I mean, what a friend Michael Hicks is. And now a podium for you tonight.
Yeah, what a teammate. I mean, actually, we tried multiple of his bikes. We didn't have good luck on the first one, the 250 main, so didn't get to race that. Thankfully, let me use the other one for that race, and we got a podium. We rode smart, played it safe, and we're just going to take it on home.
Second place on the night after getting those starts cleaned up, it's Mike Alessi. He's down on the podium with Kristen Beat.
Well done, Michael Alessi. Another second place finish, but all those times being a bridesmaid, never a bride. I mean, it's got to be itching.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get the win. It's like chasing the rabbit out there, and Michael Hicks is just riding good, and hats off to him. I just want to thank Hoosier Tires for getting me a good start. Redline Oil just supporting me and all the guys and Get Stuff Done Coffee. My wife, my baby is here, so it's cool. It's the first race they've been to and since she's been born. So good atmosphere, love it here, and looking forward to the next round.
That's awesome for Michael Alessi and family. And for Michael Hicks, another awesome night of racing. He wins them both.
A complete sweep for Michael Hicks this weekend in Kansas City. You have to feel pretty good about that heading into the off week.
Yeah, I'm super stoked on it. My whole team give everything they do for me. I'm so super grateful. That 450 was amazing out there, and yeah, just feeling good and going to the next weekend and try to get some more wins. But yeah, couldn't have done it with my whole team. Ty Lube Honda, Storm Lake Honda, 60 FXR, X-Brand goggles, of course Hoosier Tire, Pro Taper, X-Trig, Factory Connection, Motool. Is anybody else I forgot? Thank you so much.
Well, if you want to know what domination looks like, look at Michael Hicks in the point standings. He's got this thing taken care of, but Justin, I want to focus on the battle between 3, 4, and 5. Now, it might not look close, but in arena cross, things are crazy. Michael Hicks, obviously the fastest guy on the track in the Sunoco Race Fuel's fastest lap, but behind him, there's battles, there's chaos. So for Gordon and Greenlee and Bees, this thing is far from over.
It really is far from over, because think about it. Most races, you Supercross, you got one main event a night. Motocross, you got 2 in a weekend. We've got 4 opportunities to make up points or lose points. So you have a crash like that, Carter Bees, if you get taken out in the main event, there's so many points still left on the table. So if you're Michael Alessi, Carter Gordon, Carter Bees, you got to be optimistic that this thing's not over.
Go to arenacrossoutlaws.com for more information. Come on out, have a good time. These are so fun in person. They're wild and crazy. You just saw all that, but the crowd, they get into it and have a good time. For Kristen Beat, Justin Brayton, I'm Daniel Blair. We will catch you next time for the Arena Cross Championship.